Howdy, everyone. Yeah. Glasshouse Films reviewing the latest, hopefully also the greatest King Arthur movie ever. Yeah. So Carson, slightly less bearded and with a new vehicle. Savanah back since, what, Furious 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. You missed the circle, which... Screw you for being all like, I can't go to the circle. And then you were all like, but at the same time, because you didn't pay your dues, you weren't allowed to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2.
I know.
And you missed it.
I think I paid my dues enough with Furious.
Oh, bollocks.
Because it was so bad.
No, you didn't see the circle. The circle was worse.
Okay.
Okay, at least in Furious 8, you knew what the villain wanted. The circle, you literally don't.
I don't know. I still have issues with that movie.
Okay. At least it wasn't boring. We're watching King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, anyway. Guy Ritchie's latest film, which sometimes that makes me really excited, and sometimes that makes me not really excited. Because he did a few really great British crime films, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. Revolver was okay, Rock and Rolla was okay. And then he did Sherlock Holmes. The first one, well, he did both of them with Robert Downey Jr. And the first one was really good. And the second one was not. It was just okay.
Yeah.
And then, but then he turned around and he did The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I absolutely adored. Did you get a chance to see that one?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of that one?
I liked it. It was alright.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So hopefully we get another like really great Guy Ritchie film. Basically, I mean, King Arthur, it's just like a gritty, less, I would imagine it is kind of the anti-John Borrowman, like, Excalibur. Like, his was very flowery and like, oh, it's Merlin who talks like this the whole movie. And then you have this where they're like, we get drunk and fight a lot. But also looks, again, kind of taking another turn against the, like, 2004, I think, King Arthur movie, which was like, this is the real story of King Arthur. It takes place in, like, 800 AD. And, yeah, it was kind of weird. It was boring, mostly. But this one, as someone put it, and I think it looks pretty apt, is like, the video game The Witcher just pounded a Red Bull and made a movie. And this is that movie. So that makes me pretty excited. I hope it's good. So, why don't we go see this thing?
Okay.
Oh my God! King Arthur, take me now!
What kind of a man would you become had you inherited your father's kingdom?
What is this about?
Power.
Everybody's leave!
We're gonna take the castle.
Meh. Alright, so what'd you think of that one?
I liked it. It was like Lord of the Rings met Vikings met Snatch. And it molded well.
Yeah? Yeah?
I'm pretty happy about this.
Shocker! It's the first movie since we started this that you're like, I kinda like that one.
I liked the void or the abyss. Whatever.
See, because you have that sarcastic tone, you're like, the abyss. I know that you're just like, I guess I'll say I liked it.
Okay, but I like this one. It tickled my fancy.
Yeah, I dug it too. I thought it was really awesome. When I say Guy Ritchie directs a story about King Arthur, it's exactly the movie you think it is, and it's all the better for it. So, let me think. It's basically the story of King Arthur told in a, I won't say grounded way, because it's not grounded at all, but it's told in a kind of pop British punk way. So, you know, King Arthur, or before that, King Arthur's family basically killed, and he's left to figure out his own way in life. He's raised in a brothel, and through an awesome montage, you see him growing up, and he ends up becoming kind of a badass. And because of the way the montage is shot, it feels like he really earned his status. And he's a very smart guy in this too. Like, he's very streetwise about everything. And so all that happens, and basically the villain of the film is going, okay, I need to kill the heir to Camelot so that I can take over. And so the way he finds out who the heir is he has people of about the correct age come down, try and pick up the sword. Eventually, Arthur is brought to the sword. He pulls it out. But what I liked is how, I won't say how, but a lot of the film works because of your love or knowledge of genre film. Like, if you've seen a movie like this a million times before, it's gonna do things, apart from one part, and it's not even a big deal, but for the most part, it does things like, okay, no, we're doing this the other way. And I felt that really worked. It kept it fresh, and the movie moved. Like, it's a 2.5-hour film, and there was no point in which I was like, come on, let's get this moving. Like, it picked up and it went.
Yeah.
I thought the cast was really good. Eric Bana shows up for 5 minutes. Like, did everybody forget that Eric Bana used to be a thing? I mean, he shows up for a few minutes as Uther Pendragon. Jude Law's your main bad guy. Charlie Hunnam, I feel like, does a really good job as this kind of King Arthur. Really, and hot damn, that man is ripped. I'm just like, well, there's one shot where he like gets out of bed, and I'm just like, damn, that dude is muscular. Not as like but as like a man. That dude worked out.
Oh my gosh.
Jamon Hansu's in it. I always like seeing him. He was the black guy.
Yeah.
What? You never have this look on your faces of like, yes, I recognize what you're saying. Please continue.
That's just my heir to the life I live.
Littlefinger is in this movie.
I love that.
Surprisingly, not as a villain. What?
I mean, I really like Littlefinger's character in Game of Thrones, so.
Yeah, he's a great character.
He's sarcastic. He's kind of an asshole. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Charlie, as I said, Charlie Hunnam does a great job in this. I loved the editing to this film. Like, it's very much, it has a very modern style of editing, but I feel like it works better in this than it did in Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. Like, I still liked it there, but here it works even better. Mm-hmm. I thought that the only real issue that sorry, some people just drove in a very weird way in front of us. Pardon the interruption. But yeah, the only, at first I kind of perceived it to be an issue when I was like, okay, this movie is moving really fast. Like, it felt as if it was skipping over plot points. Mm-hmm. But I was like, wait a minute, no. I'm not confused. I know what's going on, and I know how we got here. It was very much, okay, you've seen these movies a million times before. We're going to bust through this, and we're going to get to the really cool stuff. And I thought that worked really well. And the more the movie went on, the more I got into it. Mm-hmm. Like, and I feel like this has been one of the only times in which I've seen the plot device of the reluctant leader really work, because I don't know, because they really did their work on going, okay, here's why he's reluctant, here's why he really doesn't want to be king, but it doesn't go further than it needs to.
Yeah.
Like,
It
I've
was
seen...
like a little
Yeah.
second guessing, and then he's like, "No, I got this."
Yeah. It went as far as it needed to go. And it worked. The music was so good.
Yes.
I really liked the music for this. It was I think one of the best ways to describe this film is it very much felt like as I said, a British pop punk King Arthur tale mixed with like a lot of the imagery that you'd see in the fantasy issues of Heavy Metal magazine. Like, that's how it felt, and it melded so well. I feel that if you've seen the movie Solomon Kane, which came out a few years ago, I really liked it, but it really didn't have the budget to do what it wanted to do. This movie is like, okay, somebody gave Guy Ritchie the budget to do what he really wanted to do, and he did it. There were a few things where it's like, wait, are you gonna explain how that works at all? But I kind of felt like Trey Parker like came up behind me and was like, "Fuck you, who cares?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Fuck you, who cares? Let's keep this going. This is awesome." It's like, how does this work? Fuck you, who cares? It's like, okay, that little extra bit of dialogue isn't gonna enhance the movie. Let's just keep moving. And man, that really worked. It was very much the movie that I wanted. I really was hoping Solomon Kane was going to be for as much as I liked it. It was the movie I really wanted Seventh Son to be, but actually delivered. Like, Seventh Son didn't really deliver. It was okay. I feel like, so I read that this was going to be the first of like 6 installments they wanted to make, and I'm like, at first I was like, really? Okay. Now I'm like, all right, yeah, bring on the other 5. I want to see the other 5 of these.
What? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. If we
epic.
get one of these every like 2 or 3 years, I'd be happy with that. Let's make this happen.
But they have to be as equally as good as the first.
Yeah, it would have to be directed by Guy Ritchie the whole way through.
Yeah.
I don't feel like anybody else could really work that. And when I say Guy Ritchie directed this, it's very much Guy Ritchie directed this. Like, the way that he directed, things like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch, that's the kind of Guy Ritchie you're getting. There's one interaction where they're explaining how a thing happened.
I love that whole
and
scene.
it's very Guy Ritchie. And it works really well. And I thought it worked. The whole movie there wasn't a segment to it that I was disappointed with. It delivered the whole way through. I don't know, so what are your final thoughts? I've been sitting here talking for 9 minutes. What did you think?
I started this out. I said it. Vikings, Lord of the Rings, Snatch molded into one movie, and I love all those things. So This movie, of course, I love. I probably will buy this movie when it comes out.
All right, well, I know for a fact, so Sarah would have really wanted to come and see this. I'm going to take Sarah to go see this.
A second time?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm willing to go watch this another time.
It at first when it started, I thought the elephants were like fire breathing, and I was like, oh my god. Yeah. Yes.
Or when they zoomed right in on their eye, I'm like, oh, are the elephants shooting the fireballs from their eyes?
I love elephants. I was like,
oh yes. Yeah, these things make the elephants from the Lord of the Rings movies look downright puny in comparison.
Yes.
Guy Ritchie was like, this is where the budget's going, everyone. Giant elephants.
Fire breathing.
That's where it's going.
Elephants.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it for King Arthur. Definitely go see it. I feel like it really works on the big screen. It's totally worth the watch. If what I've said, about how the imagery worked and the music and the directing, if all that is something that you're like, oh, wait a minute, I really want to see it, go see it. It's totally worth a watch. And so next week, Alien Covenant. Ooh, Another alien movie directed by Ridley Scott.
Oh
delicious.
Oh my god.
Oh, here we go again. Anyway, until next week, check out more of our reviews on Glasshouse Films, youtube.com/glassfilmshouse. Follow me on Twitter at glasshousefilms and Facebook, facebook.com/glasshousefilms. See y'all next time.